Alright guys, we are on the Buick doing the... Alright, here's the new regulator, new used regulator, and there's the old one. So we got her all up in here. We got her working, but I had to go to the store to get some of this stuff. Some silicone to put on my dried out weather. It's kind of dragging in there. It's kind of dragging in there a little bit, but it does go up now. Use my battery to move it up and down, so I don't have a tripod, and a tripod doesn't work always with this little stuff like this. Trying to move it back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. So we are going to continue on. Oh, the drink of choice today is my wife's Diet Root Beer. And then I gotta put that big old box back in there, right in there. Alright, I left off with lubing the slides. It's moving much better. Kind of important that well, when you're putting the regulator in, you take these two bolts here loose, these two here, and you slide it down out of there, and then the window itself, which is very hard to show you. I can show you on the old regulator. There is two plastic clips you have to push in on the tabs and push in on the tabs on the back one. Once you push in on the tabs in the front, the window will come up, and then with one hand hold the window up and then push these other tabs. Push that window all the way up as far as you can. That gives you room to drop this regulator down. Now these two rods here, which are here, are no lie a son of a son to get loose. And I'm doing it out here in the sun, so it's very hard to see. So they have those little things that spin around and hook on the rod. The plastic thing hooks on here and spins around, hooks on the rod. You have to pop them up and then try to wiggle these out, because these little bumps right there tend to hold them in, really. So once you get that in, then you're pretty much better off. I ended up having to loosen up this lock to allow it to move over a little bit inside, down in there, to give me enough room to get them in. I ended up having to hold the regulator, push the regulator back towards the back of the door to get the rods in. The bottom rod tends to go in there easier because it seems to be a little longer. It seems to be. At least it's, seems to be. Then the top one. Make sure you get them hooked good. And then put your screws in. I ended up dropping the regulator down a little bit with auxiliary power, and bringing it down, and then plugging it in, then bringing it up. Back there in the back where that track is, back part of the track that's right here, has to fit in there just right for it to function right. So that is a fiasco. But once you get that in, your screws will go in. Kind of important to make sure you hang your wires up back out of the way where they're supposed to be at in their looms. And mainly because it drags on these rods here and causes them to do funny things. It won't lock and unlock if you don't do that right. And these little plastic things here, I broke one, I was able to get one off that. These are important too. They kind of guide it in line, as you can see. So, see, it actually popped right up out of there. Should have done that. Should have. I wonder if I got to turn that one around. Let's see. Yeah, so I must have had that one upside down. Sure glad I tried it with you guys in the video, because it wouldn't have been good. That one might have to go upside down too. It might be why they broke so easily. Let's see. Yeah, up and upside down. I think they function better upside down. Alright, so make sure you get it all loomed back in here. This can hook there. This one hooked there. Right there. That one hooked up in there. That one hooked there. And make sure you plug all your connections back into there. Now the plastic that goes over top of this is totally wasted. And I tried to find one at the junkyard when I got the regulator in it. They're totally wasted. So it will be hard to find a good cover for this. So I have to put back on what I got. It's just a noise barrier, but you know, you try to do the best you can with what you got. So that's what we got. That's what we're going to use. Alright. And then next we got to put that panel back in there and hook up the rest of that HUD release. That's next.